Good Monday. This is Jay Brew, co-chairman of Seafried and Brew. Well, a lot happening since we talked last week, especially from the standpoint of where the Treasury is headed since we got the unemployment number on Friday. So as we look at it and look at the shape of the yield curve, we're definitely looking at the 10-year moving up in here. So we got a low of a 1.70. In here today, we're at a 218. Really fueled by that unemployment number on Friday. Still upward pressure, even with the Fed basically buying the longer end of the curve. We've still had a steady move up in terms of the 10-year rate to a 218. And what's driving it? Well, of course, the unemployment number pushed things over the edge because we've been talking about the fact that we believe that the economy is not going to go into the recession based on Dr. Ed's recession threat index. But let's look at some of the actual economic numbers that have been building up behind all of this. When you look at a lot of these releases, even though personal income was down 0.1%, which has been a continuing kind of trend, personal spending up 0.2%. No inflation with PCI up 1.6%. University of Michigan confidence did increase, though from very low levels, but it still was an increase in overall consumer confidence. Construction spending up 1.4%. We then look at vehicle sales rising from 12.1 million to 13.04 million. We mentioned last week the whole thing in terms of the upward trend in sales at all of the automakers. ISM manufacturing still in the expansion zone, as we mentioned last week, moving up higher than what was expected at 51.6 from 50.6. ISM non-manufacturing off just a touch, dropping from 53.3 to 53. Retail sales flat for August, but as we've looked at before, that retail sales still remain at very relatively high levels at a steady pace compared to when it was very low based upon when we were in the last recession. We then look at actually existing home sales up. Initial jobless claims less than expected at 401,000, though up from the previous week, which led to, of course, the unemployment number on Friday showing some increases in here. So I ask you, looking at these numbers, does this look like a recession that is about to happen? Along with it, we've had that push up in terms of Treasury rates, which I'd expect is still the economy not growing at leaps and bounds, but still not falling into a recession, and people noticing this, is that we could still see more upward pressure on that 10-year Treasury. And when we think about it, big news this past week. When I get a call from reporters talking about the increase in debit card fees that Bank of America came out with last week, that this rippled throughout, getting calls from the local reporters. Well, tell us about this. Why are they doing this? And I think that this is one of the biggest booms to community banking right now, at a time when deposit rates are incredibly low in terms of how to draw those new relationship type customers, is that Bank of America has given you the perfect realm to market yourselves by charging $5 a month in terms of debit card fees, mentioned by the President of the United States, in your local newspaper talking about it, and in the New York Times on Saturday, an article comparing the large banks charging these fees compared to community banks that are not charging these fees. A perfect situation for you to market to, and being in a position where you can attract clients by simply saying, we don't charge these kind of fees for these type of services, and we want you to come over and do business with us. And I say to all the community bankers out there, what could be a better competitor as somebody that does this type of situation? Because remember back when the big banks suddenly got this bright idea, why don't we charge customers for going in and using tellers? And along with that is that they continually stumble over their feet. It might be a situation in weeks to come, the Bank of America might back off of this because of all of the heavy pressure, but we know the damage has already occurred, and people suspecting that all the large banks are going to start raising these fees once again is one of the kind of opportunities that only comes about once in a while, and you should be marketing this to bring those customers over to you. This is Jay Brew, co-chairman at Seafried and Brew.